Workout was real today. See these right here? My insurance paid for these for the knee brace. And what it is my it keeps my legs from buckling. And these are real important to wear when you are trying to gain the strength and the use of your legs. This is very important in the process of walking. That rhyme, doesn't it? It's important for the process of walking. Now, I had gotten these probably about, I want to say, 8 months ago. I had got those. And today was actually the first day that I I used them, and I wish I had used them like 8 or 9 months ago, but I wasn't ready then. I told you in my first video that I ever posted that I was going through a lot of changes, dealing with you know the loss of a few people and this, that, and the fourth. Now, I'm in the process of getting my mojo back, and I'm gonna show you something with my legs in a minute. But I wasn't really motivated to make a video today, but I'm just obligated to make a video today because someone is gonna see this video and it's gonna make an impact on their life. And I'm telling you, from being paralyzed to walking, I mean, the knee braces are, I mean, they work wonders. It's essential to get those, and it also prevents you from tearing muscles in your legs and all that. You have to have, the proper equipment. Now, I don't want to get on here on YouTube and make it seem like I'm this perfect guy and oh, you listen to me, you're gonna walk. You gotta put you gotta put in work. You know what I mean? Whatever problems that you have. I mean, because when you let me explain something to you. When you used to walking, working out, going places, doing things, and I get cut off, just cut off. That is like mentally strenuous, man. It drains you because now you have to adjust to a new way of living, and you have, in some cases you may have to depend on certain people to help you, and me, I didn't want nobody. I didn't like nobody helping me. You going through all them different changes. I want to do everything. You want to be as independent as possible, and like I was very independent, very athletic. So, you know, I say that to say that you have to re-educate your mind. You have to adjust to the situation. It is what it is. Like, you're paralyzed, you know, it is what it is. So what you gonna do? You have to make the decision. I wish that I would have made the decision in the hospital. Like, you know what? I'm paralyzed. I'm gonna walk again. I'm gonna focus on that. I'm not gonna focus on anything else like retaliating or mingling with the same crowd or or anything contrary to walking again. Excuse me. And if you don't make that decision in the hospital, if you don't make that decision when they send you to the nursing home / rehabilitation center, shout out to the Dr. Susan McKinney Smith, Kings County. If you don't make the decision, then it's gonna take. You're gonna have to make that decision. Either you're gonna sit in a chair or you're gonna do something about it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it was a good thing that I went down to Florida because the struggle was real. I was real young. I was 18 when I had gotten shot when I went down to Florida. Probably like a year and a half later, like 2000, Jacksonville, Florida. I was like 19, 20. You know what I mean? So I was still young, but I made a decision like that I was gonna walk, but trials and tribulations. It's crazy. God put me in the position that I am in right now. Everything happens for a reason, and the position that I'm in right now, it is what it is. I started off something, but I didn't finish. So now I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish because the older I get, the harder it's gonna get. I'm still young. I'm 36. I'm still young. I'm still young. Still could have more kids, but I'm not having any more children unless I get married and hit the number or something like that. You know, but I say this all of my other children. My children currently, they want a little sister, another little sister or brother. You know, I take that in consideration too. But back to the situation at hand. Get you the knee braces. Get you the knee braces. Because like I'm gonna tell you something. Like a few months ago, right? Just a few months ago, right? Let me get to trying to make this video as short as I can make it. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. A few months ago, it was hard for me to do this. You know what I mean? With this right leg. But, you see that? See, it's bending. That right leg is bending. It's starting to bend now. The left leg is bending. The right leg is hard to bend. But you see, it's not bending right now. But these muscles right here are connected to these muscles right here and these muscles right here and so forth and so on. So what I have to do is constantly do crunches. Do crunches. Work out, do crunches. Move around. Stretch. Like if you can't do this right here, excuse me. If you can't do this right here on your own, stretch your legs, then get a shirt and put it. I wish I had a dirty shirt to show you. Wrap it around your foot and just sit up and pull it back. Pull your legs back. Just pull them back. And make sure that you're sitting up like this and stretch them every single day. And what that is going to do is it's going to loosen up your joints. It's going to make your muscles easier to work out because they're not going to be as stiff as they would be if you hadn't done it. So that's where I'm at with my workout right now. I got to get me some more muscle mass in a couple of days because I'm about to run out. I normally don't wear the do rags and the hat in my videos, but I just finished exercising and I have locks and I'm trying to keep this hairstyle, that in my going in my head because you know keeping up locks that can be expensive. So when you get them hairstyles, you got to make sure you got to keep them fresh. You got to wet the do rag, you know. Then you got to just drain the water out of the do rag, make it damp, put it on your head. That's something that my brother taught me. Roots. Check out his page. ROOTZ. Roots. My brother Shah. That's something that he taught me. He got that good Indian hair. But that's what I wanted to tell you. And get your X-rays, everything, MRIs or whatever. Get copies of all that stuff. Put it in front of you. Look at your spine. Look where the damage is. And start healing yourself. Meditate. I mean, even in the Bible, in Genesis, I believe it says something about, he wanted man to meditate, God wanted man to meditate throughout the day. You have to meditate. You have time on your hands. So use all that time on your hands to focus on you, on your condition, on walking, on stretching. You're gonna have to stretch for some months. It's gonna take some months. You're gonna have to stretch because you're sitting in a chair. You're sitting down all the time. You know what I mean? So you have to put your mind in a state of, okay, I have to get my legs back to the way they were before this accident ever happened to me. So that takes a lot of stretching, man. You'd be surprised of how much stiffness and cramping and and all of that stuff, damage it would do to your leg for you to just be sitting there all day. You just sitting there all day. The body is not made for that. The body legs are made to walk, to you know what I mean. So once you get it to the point to where you can just grab your leg and pull it back with your hand and it's not hard and stiff, then you're on the right track. You know what I mean? But you gotta constantly stretch them. You gotta constantly rub them. This is what I do. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I do this all day. All day. All day. All day. I'm in here like this. Because the circulation is bad in my legs. So I gotta do this all day. If you get tired, then, that's just giving up. You can't get tired. This is your body. This is you. Touch yourself. Rub your legs. Rub your feet. Rub them. All that. All this. All that. Rub your private areas. Rub your waist. Rub your body. Rub all of that. If you can get some oil while you're doing it, that's good. I'm doing it with my clothes on, because this is YouTube. But, when I'm, alone, I'm either with my boxes or, with, naked, but, you could be naked in your own room and I'm just constantly rubbing myself down. And a good exercise to do, this is like, nobody has ever taught me this, not even the times when I used to go to physical therapy. Like, I don't even go to physical therapy. I don't even Forget physical therapy. They taught me a little bit of stuff. Occupational therapy taught me a little bit of stuff, but like I said, I always was a personal trainer. But I exercise that I've learned to do is get on your knees, right? It's going to be hard because, you know, your balance is messed up. You know, when you paralyze, your balance is really bad. So to get that balance back is you get your balance from here, around this area. So what you have to do is get on your knees and get your hands on your knees in like a dog position, like doggy style position. You know, not trying to be, you know, don't think pervertic, anything like that. And actually hump, like go back and forth, hump, like you're actually making love, you know, hump, you know, down. I'm gonna show you guys one day. I'm gonna show you guys one day. But that exercise right there is like one of the best calisthenic exercises that a person who is paralyzed can do. Hump, hump, and then sometimes you want to sit there, and when you go down, when you're humping and you're going down, you just stay there, and it's gonna feel stiff in your back. You're gonna feel it's gonna feel stiff. It might hurt. You stay there. Then you go back up. Go back down. Set yourself repetitions, routines, do sets of, you know, like if it's hard for you, do sets of 5. You know, sets of 5. Like, okay, I'm gonna do 5 humps today. I'm gonna do 5 humps, you know, for 2 weeks. You know, then I'm gonna go to 6. You know, for 2 weeks. Then I'm gonna go to 7, 2 weeks until you get up to 20. You know, keep doing that exercise right there, because that exercise right there is you working out. You be surprised. You working out your stomach. You working out your hips. You helping your balance. You working out. You keeping the circulation going on in your legs. You working out everything. You getting it in. Like you really getting it in. Work out a sweat. You know what I mean? And like I tell you guys, like I said, I'm not perfect, but I do know this. The doctors told me I wasn't supposed to be able to walk. You know, when I went like probably about 2 years, I went to the pain clinic. I was taking, you know, prescription meds for pain. And the doctors, my doctor was like, you know, he was impressed. You know, he was like, wow. You know, he was feeling my muscles. He said, yeah, you have a lot of muscle tone. You know, you physically fit. He was just like, you know, if you keep at it, he told me out of his mouth, you'll be able to walk without anything. You know, and that right there just, you know, no doctor has ever told me that before. And that doctor right there just amazed me. And even after him telling me that I'll be able to walk again, I was motivated, started going hard, and then someone died, you know, who was close to me, and it just set me back. And someone died again, and someone died again. Then I started having problems, all these different issues and problems in my life, and then it just threw me off track, and then I wasn't really focused. It's easily to get thrown off track. You know what I mean? So now what I do is, like, I try to eliminate speaking to people like that. Like, I try, you know, people don't really hear from me like that. It's not because I'm acting funny or I think I'm all that. It's just, you know, people have issues. You know, people have demons. Everybody have their issues. I have my own issues. I know I have a lot of repairing to do in my life and everything. But I can't do anything, nothing, unless in a, I'm right. I'm in a position to be right. I'm happy. I'm physically fit. You know what I mean? I'm back to where I'm feel comfortable, you know, attractive. It could be anything. So block them people out of your mind and get to it. You know what I mean? And I'm here with you. I have tons of exercises. Like if I had a whole lot of money, I can put it, like somebody was to say, hey man, you know what? I'm gonna invest in you. I would touch multitude, millions of people. Like, it's so many people out there who are paralyzed, who are able, who have the ability to walk again. They just don't have the drive. They don't have somebody like me. Like, nobody can tell you anything. They don't want to hear anything because, a person who's walking can easily tell you that stuff, but somebody who's been through it, who's been through the same situation as you, you know, they can tell you, and they'll be quicker to listen to someone like me than somebody who's never even been through anything like that. You know what I mean? So, it's gonna get real. I can't wait till my little cousin Jamel come home. You're gonna see my personality, how we crack jokes. Like, I live a normal life. Like, you and like people. Sometimes people forget that I ever had gotten paralyzed. They would forget that I was paralyzed when I was in a wheelchair. They would forget me. Like, I'm like, oh man, I forget my, cause I'm so like cool. Like, you forget I'm a good dude. Like, you just forget about my legs. I guess that's why I attracted a lot of women back in the days, because like the way I am, I'm just normal. I'm real funny. Like, I'm laid back. I'm cool. Like, I can go around a bunch of people and just be straight. Like, you know, had a whole room laughing. I could really be a comedian too. Be honest with you, I be having jokes. I come from a background where we sat on a porch and on Beverly Road, and all we did was crack jokes on each other. So I can gig on somebody quick. You know, gig mean joke. That's our little slang, our little word that we use, gig. So remember that. Gigging on somebody is joking on somebody. So I got jokes. And you have to be able to, you know, take jokes. Somebody called me, a cripple MF, or, you know, a no good son of a B, or talked about my legs and made fun of me or laughed at me, and it wouldn't bother me. Like, it really wouldn't bother me. But back then, when it first happened, oh man, I'm ready to pick up a gun and find them and kill them. But it's amazing how I changed, the transition. Like, my mind, I matured. And I know people who know me from back in the days, they probably watching this video like, man, this is not the Dolo I knew. Like, the Dolo I knew was just totally different. You know what I mean? I always had jokes and stuff, but, I know you guys can see the maturity in me. This is not an act. This is how I am. And it is what it is. But anyway, this was on my mind today. Also, I'm gonna bug your head out. I read books, like medical books. You know what I'm saying? Like the Merrick Manual of medical information. You know what I'm saying? Like the home edition. This book right here has everything in it. I'm gonna show you. It's so deep. Check it out. Like sites of brain hemorrhage. You know what I mean? Hemorrhage, excuse me. And it just has all head injuries. You know what I mean? It has everything about the brain. And I be into this book, and I be reading, man, this, different symptoms, how to cure the system. You know what I mean? Tell you about your teeth. This book has everything. You have to get books like that, books about the body. You know what I mean? You have to get books about, like, health books, medical books, and really do your research on your condition. You know what I mean? You have to really do your research. If you're a T12, T6, whatever it is, whatever, L or whatever it is, you have to Like, like say if I was paralyzed from my chest down, I'll still be able to walk because every muscle is connected. One muscle makes the other one strong, and then people have their controversies. They say, well, what about the nerves and this, that, and the fourth? Sometimes nerves regenerate. You know what I mean? So, sometimes they get damaged. Sometimes they regenerate. They do. I've heard this. I read this. They regenerate. You know what I mean? I knew guys who was paralyzed from the chest down, and then over the years they gained back the use and the feeling of their chest, and then they was just paralyzed from the stomach down, and then from the waist down. You know what I mean? And then they were just content and happy with that. No, not me. I was paralyzed from the waist down, and I'm like, nah, I gotta get off my feet. I gotta walk. Shout out to Sagrita, you know, Jacksonville, Florida. That was like my honey back then. You know what I mean? She helped me out. Made a brother feel attractive. Like Sagrita was like, if I could like, I probably would have. If I'd have stayed out there, she'd probably be my wife. I got mad love for her. I don't know if you mad for me to put your name out there like that, but I got mad